Good morning, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me today for class. My name is Erin, and I will be guiding you through your flow this morning at Mystic Fitness. So you're always welcome to join us on our live streams on Facebook or on Instagram. If you'd like to come out to the studio, we would love to have you in person. We do have some yogis in the room with us today to enjoy the heat. If you would like to come on out, we just ask that you please pre-register online so we know to expect you. And that's been our policy throughout the pandemic, just to make sure that we have space for everybody. So earlier on in the week, Mother Nature graced us with an absolutely incredible snowstorm, which has left the landscape absolutely magical. And I've been very particularly taken by the snow-covered trees over the past few days. They've been very beautiful and inspiring to me, and they were kind of what brought me into the practice that what I am going to share with you today. So that's where I'm coming from, and let's begin together. So we're going to start laying down today. We're going to start super chill. So come on into your back. Take your time to arrive. And throughout your class today, let's make sure we take our time to arrive to wherever we are going. Now, if you're comfortable extending both legs down, you certainly may. But for me, I feel most comfortable at the beginning of practice with my knees bent somewhat. So if I'm at home, I might bring just a cushion under the knees. It also feels really nice just to bring your feet to the floor and bend your knees and let your knees start to knock inward. So just give yourself a moment or two to settle in. And if you're not feeling comfortable and you feel like you want to grab a pillow or anything at all, let yourself do what you like. And then once you've found yourself in a place that feels loving and beautiful for your body and soul, you let your eyes softly close. And start finding a few breaths here, gentle breaths in and out through your nose. Noticing that your shoulders are softly lengthened away from your ears, and you can even pick them up off the floor and just shift them down a little further. Relaxing the muscles of your face here, not furrowing the brow or tensing up the jaw, just really bringing some intentional relaxation into the face. Relaxing your belly as you breathe in, let the air come all the way down into the belly to fill it up. And as you exhale, the belly will simply lower. As you breathe in, the belly rises. And then it lowers as you exhale. And continue taking some easy inhales and exhales. Maybe taking some time to quickly scan the body from the head all the way down to the feet, bit by bit. And if you encounter any places where you tend to hold your tension, or that feel a little uncomfortable or sore, do whatever it is that you need to do to make yourself more comfortable. And maybe just remind yourself to let go. We'll continue here taking some easy inhales and exhales for about 2 more rounds. Each time they might grow a little longer and a little deeper, but let them do so as they're ready. On the next round, we'll begin to activate the exhale. We'll still relax the belly as we breathe in. Let the belly get really big. Side ribs start to open up. As you exhale, we'll begin to engage the pelvic floor and deepest abdominal muscles just to help press the air out, to get that stale bit out. Inhale fully. Exhale, engaging pelvic floor and deepest abdominal muscles to draw the belly inward and upward. So we'll continue like this for several more rounds. We always will have a little bit of residual air that stays in the lungs. But as we're here, we're just trying to push out a little bit extra on that exhale by drawing inward and upward. Also, starting to find those deepest core muscles that not only will help us progress throughout our practice today, but that will keep you strong, safe, and grounded as you travel throughout your life. And maybe just taking it day by day, right? So just through the day ahead. Get a few more here, long inhales, subtly strong exhales. Inhaling, relaxing, and exhale, engaging, finding a subtle, silent strength. And we'll just take two more here. And one more. Exhaling, pelvic floor engages, lower belly draws into the spine. Just pause there and notice that power. And then breathe a little more freely in and out through your nose. Keeping your feet just as they are, we'll take our right hand here and place it over the heart. And the left hand we'll place over on top of the right. And just let your arms rest peacefully here. Taking just a moment to draw your awareness deep inside to your core, whatever resides deepest within you. Paying a little tribute to that, holding it dear to you. And we'll mark the start of our journey together today by uniting our voices in the sound of Om. We'll take one cleansing breath to prepare. Let's take it in together through the nose. And just let it go. And inhaling for your Om here. I hope you have the greatest practice ever. Let's slowly start to bring some movement into the body just by drawing the knees in towards the chest, allowing the weight of your legs just to start to fall downward. You can hold on to your shins, either by just holding on with your hands or wrapping your arms lightly around the legs and keeping yourself so soft here, just like that soft fallen snow. Just start to allow the weight of your body to make more connection with earth as you rock gently from side to side. Your head can remain fixed, but it might start to rock a little bit. Just allow yourself to find whatever movement starts to naturally happen here. And we'll take ourselves down here, feet to the floor, and we'll just widen the feet towards the edges of your mat and take your arms out to the side to help steady your torso as we find some gentle twisting here. Let's drop the knees down over towards the right side. And then as you breathe in, the knees come up to the sky. And then they'll exhale over to the other side. And we'll take these at the rate of our breath. Let the inhale move you up and over and maybe settle in on the exhale. Inhale as you begin your journey to the other side. The exhale as you begin to land and then savor your landing. You can begin to let your nose tilt in the opposite direction of your knees if that feels good for you. Inhaling nice and long and exhaling just as long and settling in. And we'll just get one more dynamic movement from side to side. And then the next time that your knees come up and over to the right, we'll pause there and just let them fall. And letting yourself sink down. Maybe sinking down to the snow. So I made some snow angels this week. And it really felt quite joyful just to allow myself to sink down into the snow.
So I'm just recalling a little bit of that sensation here. Take one more breath. And then let's find that same joy on the other side. Inhaling as you switch positions. Then exhaling as you allow yourself to settle in. And maybe you readjust your feet, your hands, whatever needs to be readjusted, shoulders, so that you feel perfectly able and happy to stay here for another moment. And we'll take just one more breath here. Hmm. Nice. Let's come back to center. The knees will come back in. And we'll start to make our way into tabletop, but take your time. You can either rock side to side and then push your way up. Or if you're someone who enjoys some forward to back rocks, you can forward and back rock here a couple of times. So I enjoy them. They don't feel great for everybody, so completely opt out if that's more appropriate. Just rocking side to side. And then however you want to get there, well, come on up. And then just make your way into tabletop, taking your hands under shoulders, knees under hips, giving yourself the space to walk the hands a little bit more forward to back off the wrists. Also going to force you to wake the core up a little bit more. So 2-for-1 special there. Let's start to find some C curves here. We'll begin in the middle. And then as you exhale, we'll take the right shoulder to the right hip. You can press back gently a little bit there to get a little bit baby child pose action in there. And we'll inhale through center. Exhale, find that side stretch to the other side. So let yourself move from side to side, going slowly. Maybe you are traipsing through the snow. Has not had a path made yet, so we have to move a little slower. We'll take another one here. And just one more each way. Maybe pressing back and kind of savoring the side stretch here on the right. And then we'll slowly make our way over to the left and savor a little bit of that stretch, maybe making it a little bit bigger. And we'll come back to the middle and start our cows and cats to continue to loosen the spine. As we inhale, we'll soften the elbows, arch, look up, tailbone up. As you exhale, we'll press and round. Think about that cat that's a little frightened. Back comes up. Inhaling down for your cow. And exhaling into cat, tucking the chin, rounding, grip the floor. You can back off a little bit of your hands when you find your arch. As you curl, maybe you press with a little bit more intention just to practice there. Let's get 3 more. Inhale, we'll arch and look up. Exhale, we will curl and round. Last couple here at your own pace. And one more this way. And curling it. As you inhale, come back to neutral. Exhale, we'll press the hips back to the heels. We'll take a few more flows on hands and knees. As you inhale, we'll lift up through cat, begin to shift forward. Exhale, slowly lower thighs, belly, chest. Tuck your chin. Inhale up for cobra, elbows draw inward. Exhale, low belly helps you press up and back. Always use deep core to move. Inhale, up and forward, extend, diagonal plank. Exhale, slowly lower your way down. Tuck chin, inhale up for cobra. You just look straight wherever naturally occurs. Exhale, press it up and back. We have just one more like that. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, lower down super slowly and mindfully there. Tuck your chin. Inhale, back strength lifts to cobra. Press the fingers. And we'll exhale back to child's. Take the knees wide, and we'll just take a moment to find the earth again. If your forehead does not comfortably reach the floor, feel free to bring a block under your head, or you can just fold your arms underneath you, just letting yourself have some support. We'll take 3 long inhales and exhales here. If you're noticing it's not comfortable to spread your knees wide, you can always take your knees together here. Last couple of breaths. You are welcome to come back to child's pose or any other restful position at any time. Let's make our way out if you are ready. Coming up onto hands and knees here. Pressing actively into fingers, curl the toes under, and we'll find a hovered tabletop by lifting the knees about an inch. And then I'd like you to start to press into the fingers a lot and try to send the hips back a little more. Keep your belly strong and engaged. Try not to arch and tuck the beauty up there. We want to feel nice and strong here. Take just another moment. You can kind of bend and extend and press a little forward and back and just kind of play around here. Let yourself be playful. And then we'll make our way to downward facing dog as you're ready, lifting the hips. And then we'll begin to pedal out the feet, bending one knee at a time to allow the opposite leg to slowly lengthen out. Gripping the floor with all of your fingers, taking a few deep breaths. One more here, pedaling it out. Good. Let's still our dog and bend the knees. We want to work on lengthening the spine before we worry about the legs. And then start to roll the shoulders away from each other to stretch out the upper back. From here, we're going to let our knees spin to the left and the heels drop towards the right a little. So we're getting a nice side stretch through left side body. You can always drop the knees if you need to and just reach your hands over to one side from either tabletop or child's. And then we'll go back to the middle. Keep super active. Heels to the other side. Spinning knees to the right. Heels to the left. So there's no magic way to have your feet here. We're just trying to get back into the side body. Then we'll come back towards the middle in downward facing dog. Let's look forward here on the in-breath to prepare. Take a big breath in there, and then as you exhale, we'll walk the feet forward. You can take as many steps as you need to get there. We'll inhale for a half lift, engage the belly, and then exhale, soften, and let yourself fold down. And let's just maybe channel a willow tree here. So let yourself get nice and flowy and drapey. You can sway a little side to side. If that feels a little too deep, you can take your arms onto the thighs here. And even here, you can find some sort of movement that feels good. Maybe you're just shaking the head a little side to side or even creating little circles. Just whatever you can do here to help release any emotional baggage, any kind of negativity that you're just holding onto. Let it go. So sometimes these feelings can be constructive as long as we are aware of them, but other times they're not, right? So we don't want to let them plague us. Just let whatever that is that's holding you back, that can't get off your mind, try to let it be here. Let the earth absorb it. We'll take one last breath. Good. Let's start our journey to standing. We'll take an inhale, half lift. I want you to send the hips back a lot. Keep the knees bent. Then as you exhale, you'll press the floor away as you roll your way up to stand up nice and tall. And we'll sweep the arms up overhead here. And as you exhale, draw your hands to heart center. Take a moment to pause there in your mountain pose, taking some nice long breaths in and out, either with eyes open or closed, whatever you feel like you need today. We'll take one last breath together. And let's find a flow here. Inhale, the arms sweep overhead, lift the gaze. As you exhale, dive down slowly, soft knees. Inhale to half lift. Exhale, plant your hands, take a walk back to your downward facing dog. When your next inhale is ready, we'll soften the knees. Exhale, lift your hips, roll your way into high plank. We'll hold high plank for the in breath, squeeze glutes there. Exhale, knees drop, and we'll lower slowly to earth. Inhale, tuck chin, lift up, look forward or down. Exhale, press your way up and back. Downward facing dog. Take a big breath and let it out. Two more here. One more big breath. Good. Let's try one more like that. Inhale, look forward, knees soften. Exhale, walk your feet to your hands. Inhale, half lift. Keep the knees bent at least a little bit there. And exhale, forward fold. Let it all go. Inhale, back to half lift. Shoot the hips back. Exhale, press and roll up. Press the floor away. Inhale, the arms up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Lower belly draws in and up. And we'll take one more flow that way. Inhale, the arms lift. Exhale, slowly dive your way down. Inhale to half lift. As you exhale, you'll step to down dog, or if you're feeling a little frisky, you could hop to a bent dog to use our nice soft joints. And then we'll all land and arrive in downward facing dog. Let's find our flowing plank. Inhale, soften knees. Exhale, lift hips and try to roll. One vertebra at a time to plank. Inhale, activate your plank. Exhale, lower slowly down to earth. Tuck chin, inhale, cobra. Exhale, press your way up and back with deep core muscles to downward facing dog. We'll take one long breath in and out. We'll be here for a few more breaths. Maybe you're rolling the shoulders away from each other. Maybe you're figuring out if you want your knees more or less bent. We're always making tiny little micro adjustments in our poses. Even if they're not something that can be seen, it's definitely something that we can feel. And we'll just take one more round of breath here. Awesome. Let's take the right leg to the sky, three-leg dog, sweep it up there. Option just to keep it long and maybe rotate ankle, or you could bend your knee to open the hips, stacking the right hip over the left. Sometimes I feel like I need to just kind of shake the leg out a bit, so I bend and extend. I would like you to do whichever one of these feels best for you. Take one last breath in here and we'll lengthen the leg long and back again. Exhale, knee comes into the chest and we'll pause before we step to the right hand. And we'll make our way into a twist to begin with here. So if you do have a block with you, you can bring it right underneath your left hand, and it has many heights. Choose the one that serves you today. And then we'll sweep the right arm up to the sky. Inhale, reach for the stars. As you exhale, you'll reach for your back foot. Dip the knee down. Inhale, lift up and around. Exhale, back and down. So we'll just take a few of these, allowing our shoulders to roll more open. Allow your chest to open and expand through the ribs. And then make your way into your twist. Reach your right arm up. Press the left hand away from the block. So we're not relying on the block to hold us. It's there so we don't topple over. But most of the action is in feet and core. Take one long breath in. Last breath out here. Final inhale. As you exhale, arm circles back. Inhale, it circles forward and will lift us up into a high lunge or crescent lunge here. We're going to then bring our arms forward. As you inhale, we're going to open up the chest and lengthen the back leg. Exhale, you'll dip the knee and give yourself a little hug. Inhale, open up and extend. Exhale, curl. So imagining that you're just kind of waving and blowing in a gentle breeze. Your tree branches moving with the beat of the wind. And the wind is your breath. We'll take one more like this. And then we'll sweep both arms up to the sky. Open up your branches, shoulders roll down the back, super active fingers. So we want to recreate all those teeny tiny branches that are at the very tippy top. Every single branch is important.
One more breath in and out again. Inhale, lift your soul. Exhale, hands to the floor. Step your way back, downward facing dog. Big inhale. Long exhale. One more breath. Other side, inhale, left leg sky high. Either keep it here, maybe just move ankle, or bend your knee to open the hip. If this ever feels too intense, you could just drop the right knee down and just play around, something similar on hands and knees. On your next inhale here, we'll lengthen the leg up and back. Exhale, one tiger curl to pause. Knee comes in, pause and hold it. Then we'll place the foot towards left hand. You can go out and around if it's difficult to bring it straight through. And then we'll find our block under the right hand and sweep the left arm to the sky. Find the stability of your legs. Lift and engage your core here. Take a big breath in. Exhale, reach back, dip the knee. So let yourself find this movement in a way that feels lovely in your body. So it's a little different than mine, most likely, right? Because every single one of us is different. Just like every single gorgeous tree looks a little bit different. Take one last circle there. And then let your arm expand up. Energy shoots through you from all directions. Crown of head. Every single little finger. Stay here another few. Complete inhales. And exhales. One last breath in. Exhale, hand circles back. Inhale, it lifts you up towards the front for your high lunge. We want to make sure hips and shoulders point forward here. With the back heel up, arms come forward. We'll inhale, open up, lengthen out through the back leg. Exhale, hug and dip the knee. So you decide how much of a dip your knee takes. We'll take 3 more. Relax your belly as you breathe in. Contract it as you breathe out. Here's our last one. Let's lift the arms up now as we inhale. Shoulders roll down the back, so we're actively trying to open the chest, strengthen the upper back here. Keep the expression on your face soft. Maybe even joyful. One more breath. Big inhale. Exhale. Let's take the hands down. Step your way back. Downward facing dog for a deep breath. One more here. All right, traveling to the front of the mat again. Inhale, prepare. Look where you're going. Soften the knees. Exhale, walk, or you could always try a hop if you're up for it today, towards the front. We'll inhale, lift to half lift, belly strong. Exhale, everything softens. Inhale strongly, halfway. On your exhale, press the floor away to roll up. Try to activate that roll up. Inhale all the way. Exhale, hands to heart. We're coming to chair pose here. Take your feet at least hips width apart, maybe even slightly wider if it feels more comfortable for you. Plant your feet in your mountain pose to begin with. Palms face forward, shoulders roll down. So we're trying to remember to bring our mountain into all of our poses. So we'll just start here to remember it. Feet grounded, belly slightly drawn in. From here, we'll then inhale the arms up overhead, and as you exhale, we'll sit to our chair. I tend to take the arms back and then front to help me get the hips back. That's what works for me. I might then take my feet a little wider. So let yourself find a chair that is strong and supported. Once you've found it, we'll find some cactus arms. Again, opening up at your chest, strengthening the upper back. By drawing the elbows down, holding them strong in that position, Lower belly in and up. 3 breaths in and out. Your spine should be at a natural curve. So go ahead and check in there. You got one more breath here. Beautiful. Let's inhale all the way. Exhale, bend knees. All the way down we bow. We'll hang out in our fold a few breaths. If you love ragdoll, go ahead and find it. Holding on to opposite elbows, allowing the weight of the arms to bring a little more opening into the upper back. You can sway or you can just hang down the middle. I encourage you to always keep the knees at least a small amount bent. This will allow you to relax into your stretches, so you will stretch more effectively and more safely. If this grip doesn't work for you, please let yourself find one that does, even if that means that your hands are on a block or forearms are on your thighs. Last 2 breaths in and out. And one more. Let's release our arms here. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold down. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, press floor away. Even press the thighs with your hands if that helps to roll up. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, hands to heart in your mountain pose. Pause here. We're going to balance on the right foot and then end up stepping to the back of the mat. So make sure you're up near the front of yours. Belly engages. We find mountain. Hands come to heart center. We'll take the left knee up here, flex left ankle. And you can either keep your hands in prayer for warrior 3, or if at any time you need them out to the side for airplane, please do that instead. Begin to bend the standing leg and then press your opposite foot back, keeping that lift in the belly. You don't have to go to your deepest right away. In fact, don't. Take your time. Even if that means your toe is kind of down and you're here, that's totally fine. Maybe it lifts up a little more. Shoulders are drawing down and away from your ears. And then we're just going to land the foot to the back of the mat. Drop the heel. We're going to open up to our warrior 2. So we're going to dance our warrior 2 a couple times here. Toes are pointing forward, knee points forward. We always want knees and toes to be pointing the same way as a general rule. Back foot will be parallel to the back of the mat or could end up slightly turned in. As we breathe in, we're going to lift the arms overhead, straighten your right leg and pivot your toes to the long end of your mat. Get super big. Exhale, warrior 2 left. We'll keep going side to side. We'll inhale and sweep up. And exhale, warrior 2. Now, if your branches or your arms want to find a little bit of movement on their own, maybe bending and pushing, find something that feels good for you. Get 2 more. One more to the left. We'll come back to the right. I'm going to stay there. Shoulders drop down as we hold our warrior 2. 3 breaths in and out. Pushing into the outer edge of the back foot to get a little deeper sensation of stretch in the inner thigh. A little more hip opening there. We'll flip the front hand. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Exhale, 2 extended side angle, taking your forearm onto the thigh. I tend to kind of draw mine down the hip towards the knee at first to help the leg lengthen a little bit out of the joint, and then reach the arm up. You can bring your gaze up if you wish. Try to keep yourself very long from foot to head. Maybe a little half bind today. You can turn your palm to face behind and take your palm towards the small of your back. And maybe push kind of down on the small of the back. That might help you come from maybe here to more here, where you're more lengthened. Continue to stay. Last few. Try not to rely on this right arm to hold you up. We're pressing away from that front leg, just like we did when we were using the block. One last breath. Let's inhale the arm up. Exhale, stay. Let's come on out. Inhale, sweep up and back. Exhale, cartwheel the hands to the floor. Step your way back. Downward facing dog. Waving our plank, inhale, soften the knees. Exhale, pick up hips. Roll one vertebra at a time to plank. We're going to come to forearm plank here. So if you want to take your knees down first to help your journey, please do. Coming right down onto the forearms. I like to keep my hands separated here, gripping the floor. If it's better for you to take your hands interlaced under your nose, you can go there. For me, I find it more powerful to keep my hands wide on the mat and elbows right under the shoulders there. We can stay right where we are. You can try a little plank saw, moving a bit forward and back, and just say, oh, notice how that changes things up. We want to really grip with fingers, squeeze your glutes. Whether you are sawing forward or back or staying still here. One last round of breath. Strong, strong practice today, just like those gorgeous trees. Let's play our way back up into plank. And then take it back, downward facing dog. Right, get rid of that stress, anything holding you back. Let's find the front of the mat. Inhale, look forward so you know where you're going. Exhale, walk, or you can hop the feet up. Inhale, halfway there. And exhale to fold. One breath, savor your rest. Let's get ready to rise. We'll inhale to half lift. Hips shoot back, belly strong. Exhale, press away from the floor. Try to roll up. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, hands come to heart center. Lower belly draws up to meet them. Finding the mountain in your feet, crown of your head and shoulders. And here we go, balancing on the left leg. Right knee comes up. Keep pressing your hands together energetically as you squeeze the belly. If you want to take arms out to the side, go for it. We're going to start to step back by softening the standing leg and then push the other foot. So there's that pull-push there that'll help you lengthen and balance in your warrior three or airplane with arms out to the side. You don't want to dump into the lower backs. You really need to scoop that belly in and up. And you land when you need to. I had to land a little earlier today than I wanted. So be it. Arms come up once you arrive there. And then we'll make our way to warrior two on the left. And before we come back to stay in our warrior two on the left, we're going to pause in a goddess pose. So let's come to the long edge of the mat. Pick up your left toes. We want our toes to point out now, heels in, and start to squat down. And maybe move a little side to side. I tend to like to find a little movement to let myself find my center of where I want to be. If you find your knees are coming forward, remember to push the hips back, even if that means your body is a little bit bent forward. Sometimes I kind of hold here and help myself level that out. Once you start to have those knees come forward, you want to keep them back. Stay there. Arms come out to the side. Let's take fingers into our Gyan Mudra here. We're going to hang out here. So yesterday was the 45th day of winter, which brings us halfway through to spring, right? I'm someone that tends to really look forward to the spring, especially as February starts to go on. But Mother Nature gave me a real gift this week of a gorgeous snowstorm. And as I looked out over those gorgeous snow-covered trees, there, naked in their branches, holding all that weight, right? And looking so majestic and beautiful, it kind of made me want to be that tree, right? So allow yourself to be vulnerable, strong, beautiful. Savor the moment you're in. The next moment's going to come when it comes, but always find something to be thankful for wherever you are. Cherish that moment. Even cherishing these moments in Goddess where you're thighs are starting to talk to you here, right? Just keep breathing through it. One more breath. Let's release. Inhale, come tall, toes forward. Arms out to the side. Big inhale there. As you exhale, soften your knees and start to bow down. Let your hands come to the ground or on your blocks. You can keep your toes pointed slightly out if you wish, or turn them in a little more as we find a few side lunges from one side to the other. Getting deep into the inner thighs. Hips are always trying to come back at least a little so that you don't have your knees shooting past the toes. If you do have knees putting past the toes and you start to put weight there, it can put pressure on the front of the knee, and you just want to try to keep yourself nice and safe. After a couple of these, we're going to pivot the heels out and come back down into your wide fold. If you're very bendy here, you can start to walk your hands under your legs. Grip the floor to pull yourself down more. Or if you are less bendy here, maybe you invite a block to practice or a small stool or something so that you have a place to put your hands, or you can even use it for your head. That can be nice. Let's just take a few more here. Two more breaths. One more. Good. Let's inhale to half lift. Exhale, pause there. We're going to take our hands onto the hips and soften the knees a little. On your next exhale, press the floor away. Try to roll up a bit. And here we are. Warrior 2 on the left. Pick up the left toes, pivot on your heel, and spread your arms nice and wide. Gazing for the thumb. Pressing to the outer edge of the back foot. Opening up as much as you can here. Shoulders are soft but strong. One more. Let's flip the left hand. Inhale to reverse warrior. Exhale, extended side angle, forearm down the thigh, making whatever adjustments you need. You can look up for the sky. If you feel like you can reach the stars, you can look to the side or even down. Maybe you need to find the earth and the ground a little more today. We'll find half bind, turn your palm back, take your hand towards the small of your back. Lengthen the spine as long as you can get it. Try not to crunch and hang here. Very strong pose. Gaze is wherever you need it to be, but make it intentional. Find your drishti or your focal point. Last two breaths in and out. One more breath there. Arm reaches up. Inhale, sweep up and back. Exhale, cartwheel. Step back. Down dog we go. Big inhale. Long exhale. Last few. One more. Coming to the last bit of standing series here. Inhale, look forward, knees soften. Exhale, walk or a gentle hop of the feet to your hands. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, soften, fold down. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, engaging belly, press floor away, roll up. Inhale, arms left. Exhale, hands to heart, lower belly draws in and up, soften the shoulders. We're going to find our tree pose first today is our balance. So you're going to stand nice and tall, grounded in your mountain pose. Rooting down into the left leg first. We will take the arms up overhead to begin. Let's grab all the energy from the earth, take it to the heart. And then we'll begin to lift the left foot Bouncing on right leg, yes. Lift the left foot to the inside of your leg. Feel free to keep it right on the calf. You could reach down, try to get it up into the thigh. Squeeze the belly in enough there. Hands come back to prayer perhaps. Your knee is open as much as it can be. Don't force it to open to a place that's not ready to go. And if your branches wish to expand and strut off their stuff here, let yourself be you, your own gorgeous, exquisite tree that can have branches that grow in any way. Maybe they're moving in the breeze. Let yourself find something, whatever that may be. And interlacing hands behind. All kinds of ways to be a tree. Last 2 breaths in your tree. One more here. And then tree release. Foot to the floor. Hands down. If you need to shake off the standing leg or shake your whole self out, do what you need to do. Maybe the eyes close as you bring everything back in. And then let's find our roots. Roots expand down into the earth. And the roots of your tree are just as big as the tree itself. So feel that energy. Just go down into the earth. Root yourself, connecting you into the yogi next to you, right? So our little roots are reaching out for each other under the floor. Balancing on the left leg, let's clear the air. Inhale, sweep up all that gorgeous winter air. And exhale, hands to heart. Although it's quite tropical in the room here. We'll then take our right foot to the inside of the left leg, cinching the belly. You can reach down, take it to inner thigh. Maybe the side doesn't like it. Instead of judging your side, just let your foot go where it needs to be. Don't put it on your knee though, because I do want you to try to engage the foot and the leg into each other. And you don't want to push on the inner knee there. It doesn't go that way, right? The knee only bends one way. It's like a hinge, so we don't want to push it out to the side. Maybe your branches grow. Who knows? And if your tree turns into a mountain because you need more stability, that's okay. Mountain itself can be an absolutely gorgeous posture to help you feel grounded. You can still feel your tree roots, just with the thicker trunk. Yeah? Wherever you are, tree pose, or if you came out, you came out. We are still intentional. We are still in the practice. 2 more breaths. And 1 more. Good. Let's release our tree. Hands down, foot down. You can shake off your standing leg or find some movement that feels good. We've got one last balance pose to do today. It is eagle pose. We will begin by balancing on the right leg. Feet hips width apart. Squeeze and lift low belly to support the spine. Inhale, arms sweep. Exhale, reach them out to the side and then to the front. So since we're balancing on the right leg, we're going to take the left arm under first and wrap around. Let's find our chair again. Lift the belly first, then start to sit the hips back. Find the strength of your right leg, root. Then lift the left and wrap it over the thigh. Some days my foot can come behind my calf and some days it can't. I try not to overthink the why. I just do what I do. So this eagle pose is inspired by a gorgeous hawk I saw as I was gazing at the gorgeous white trees. He was just sitting there in a contrast to the white around it. So strong and beautiful. So aware. Stay here. Maybe you channel a little bit of that. You can stay right where you are, or last week we tried to take our eagle on a little ride. And you could try that if you want to by unraveling your leg and sending it back, keeping your hands as they are for Eagle Warrior 3. No worries if this isn't working out for you, right? This is your practice. We'll find our eagle again as you're ready. And then we're going to come on out of it. Let's come out. Inhale, sweep up. Exhale, hands down. Whew. Last standing pose of practice. Let's get to it. Inhale, the arms stretch high. As you exhale, we're taking the right arm under the left. Now, if this doesn't feel good, I forgot to mention, but you could also just hold shoulders instead. Squeeze and lift belly. Engage the shoulders, engage everything you got there. Bouncing on the left, right leg up. And try to wrap it. Knees are trying to point pretty much straight ahead. Some days I got to take my toe down for a kickstand. On those days, I still squeeze and lift the belly. I still bounce as much as I can on the standing foot. We'll stay for a few more breaths. You can stay there here the entire time. Or maybe you start to unravel the leg and shoot it back. Eagle Warrior 3. Even if you have to take it with the toe kind of down and it more of this diagonal, and then maybe you lift it. Who knows? It's just practice though, right? It's not serious stuff. Though it feels quite serious sometimes in the moment. Right? We got to remember to smile and laugh. Let's come back to where we started. Always moving slowly. When I tend to go quick is when I tend to make mistakes, right? Whether it's on the mat or off the mat. So let's try to move slow and intentionally. We're done. Inhale, sweep up. Exhale, hands down. Heart center. Beautiful practice. Let's get a quick little back bend in here standing before we come to the floor. Super gentle. I'd like you to take your hands and put them towards your back pockets. Shoulders going to roll back a bit. Lifting and engaging the belly to protect the lower back. Just begin to gently press forward a little. But I want you to feel long. You can look up, but you might just look forward. Nice work there. Super gentle, not feeling too much in lower back. Really try to spread throughout. Last breath in. And as you exhale, just come to stand. Let your arms come down. Beautiful. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, slowly hinge. Soft knees. Let yourself pour down. Take a breath in. And out. Last breath here. Inhale, halfway hands onto shins. Exhale, plant hands. We'll walk right back to plank. Coming to side plank here, let's drop the heels over to one side and then lift the opposite arm up. You can stay here, or for a great modification, you can take the top leg, walk it about halfway up your mat in front of the back leg, put the foot right on the floor. And not only can that foot support you, but if you push, you can get a nice stretch in the top hip. Now, if that's too much, you're going to back off the push, or you're going to push a little more. If you prefer to keep the foot back and make it more strengthening, that's cool too. We'll make our way to the center, and then take it on the other side. You can either stay right here, both legs long, or step the top foot about halfway up the mat. Toes are going to point out towards the long edge. You can push, get a little extra stretch there if it works. Last breath here. Coming back to your center plank. We'll drop the knees, the thighs, the belly, the everything, all the way down here. Let yourself find a place that feels good. You can either keep your arms long and back, which is more comfortable probably for your shoulders. Or if you need something under your forehead, you could put your hands there. My hands are there only so that I don't muffle the mic. I would prefer to have mine back, so do what feels better. We're going to let the knees move a little side to side. Let the knees, your feet, bending your knees. As soon as I said it, I was like, how do you do that? How do you let the knees go side to side here? So I'm making these little half circles with my feet now, swaying them together to one and then the other. And sometimes I make full little circles. It really feels nice for my hips. And we'll make these same circles on the other side if you're circling. And then for a gorgeous stretch that's going to get the chest, the shoulders, and into your hips, we're going to take the arms out from the shoulders, palms down. Bend your right knee. Sole of your foot's kind of pressing up. You're then going to lift that foot up and reach it behind you onto the floor. And let me get my pillow here. I like to use a block under my head as a pillow to keep my spine in a more natural alignment. You can keep your both hands where they were if you wish. Some people like to take the free hand up or back. I like to keep mine where it is. You can play around. Let yourself soften as much as you can here. Maybe even closing your eyes. And this is a pose if you have tight hips that might start off really iffy, but as you allow yourself to be and settle in, might start to really, really feel good for you. So hang in there. If you have any kind of pain in your joints, my advice is to always back off or come out completely. But if it's just the muscles that are kind of feeling a little tension, they may just release over time. So give them the time and the space. One more here. Good. Let's switch sides now. So let's roll back onto the belly. Reach your other arm out to the side. Pick up the opposite foot. Place it on the floor behind. My knee tries to point up to the sky. Yours may or not make it there. It might be pointing more forward. But over time, as the hips get more open, your knee will be able to point up more. We've got 5 breaths here. 4 more. 3. 2. 1 more breath. When you are ready, you'll gently come out very slowly. Now, if you just kind of found your sweet spot, you could always stay for another breath or more. From here, we're going to press ourselves up onto hands and knees. We're going to come into a threaded needle here. Nice little twist. Let's take the right arm up to the sky, stretch it up. And as you exhale, we're going to thread it underneath. I'm just going to stay right there. You can reach, okay. You can reach your hand forward there. I like to tent my fingers and actively reach up. You could also find that half bind once again and take your hand back. Now, although I definitely encourage you to stay chill, if your body is still craving a little adventure, you could try to balance here. So you would take, if your right arm is underneath you, your left leg back and extend it, and maybe you lift that foot up. Now you could do this with your left hand in any of its positions. Obviously a lot harder if it's around your back. You might tremble. It's okay. Knee comes back to the floor at some point. I'm going to come on out. So slide your left hand back underneath you. Inhale, right arm up and out. And just let that arm circle down, and we'll try the other side. Inhaling, let's sweep the left arm all the way up, maybe even back a little to twist. Exhale, thread it under you. Feeling free to stay here. Now, most days, this is where I stay. Just working the twist. You can take any arm variation you wish with the right hand, either behind you, maybe reaching towards thigh, or reaching straight ahead. Maybe we slide right foot back. You got to squeeze and engage the glute if you want to lift it. Maybe it lifts. Maybe you choose not to. Last few breaths here. And one more. Knee down. Slowly take your right hand back under the shoulder. And inhale the left arm up and back around. Let's make our way back into child. Spread your knees, big toes together. Wiggle yourself back down in between the legs. If it's not comfortable, of course, you can bring your knees together instead. Forehead is on the floor, or maybe you bring in a block or a pillow underneath you. Let's add a side stretch in here, walking your hands off towards the right side, reaching a little bit more through the left arm. 3 inhales and exhales here. 2 more. One more. Good. Let's switch. Inhale, walk through center. And then over to the other side. Give yourself some time to reach as long as feels good for you through the right arm. Grip your little gecko fingers into the floor. Add the traction of pulling a little bit. Last 2 breaths in and out. Really spread the ribs with your breath. And then when you're ready, you'll walk your arms back up to the middle and let yourself just settle in for another breath or 2 here. Relax everything that is not needed to hold you where you are. Maybe coming back to bringing awareness into your forehead and the jaw, starting at the face and then slowly making your way down through shoulders, chest, and the hips. You'll be here for another breath or so. And then when you are ready, you will get yourself up onto hands and knees just to come onto your back. No rush to get there. Once you arrive, we'll come right back to where we began, with the legs just resting on top of you. And you can rock slightly from side to side. You might take a hand onto each knee and start to open your legs away from each other and back in a few times. And if you are circling out the legs, you want to just take a moment to bring them in the opposite direction too. Let's find our happy baby here. Take the soles of your feet up to the sky. Grab the edges and just pull the knees down a little bit. Take 3 breaths. Letting gravity and the weight of your hands let your knees drop a little closer to earth. One more here.
practice a single happy baby on the right. So we'll start by taking the left foot to the floor and keep the right foot where it is. And maybe bring both hands onto the foot and just pull it down a little more. You could then stretch out the other leg long, but if that is too much, you can just bend the knee again. I'll take 2 breaths here, just a little more intense. And one more. Final breath of this side. And let's bend the left knee. Happy baby, 2 feet. Grab your foot with your hand, and then we'll take the right foot down to the floor with the knee bent. Both hands onto the left foot and pull the knee down a little more. Maybe straightening out the opposite leg. If it's too much to straighten it, it just bends as much as it needs to. It doesn't have to be as bent as it was. But you could keep it just slightly bent, maybe heel on the floor. 2 more breaths here. And one more. Good. Let's come out, take both feet down to the ground. Take your hands onto the creases of your hips, and let's just gently press both thighs away. This is going to lengthen out the lower back a little. Actively pressing here for spinal traction, heels of your hands into the hip crease. You can apply the pressure and then release it, and then do it again, or keep a steady pressure. One more breath here. Let's find bridge, hands down to the ground alongside you. Spread your fingers. Then you want to take your ankles right under the knees or slightly further away is totally cool. Just don't walk them in too close, because again, what that'll do is start to put pressure on the front of the knees. So let's lift up. On an in-breath, we'll prepare. On an exhale, press and roll your way up until you hit the top of your bridge. You can rearrange the shoulders when you get there. Maybe you want to draw them a little closer to each other to get the muscles of the shoulders under the body for support. Sometimes I engage my belly and lower the hips just a little, just to be able to get them up a little higher on my next press. We're going to try to stay for 5 full breaths here. Thinking about expanding long through the front of the body. Back of the body is obviously working hard. But try to soften the effort. So even though there is effort, we find a sense of ease in our effort. So all of the tasks ahead of us, always trying to find that part, that ease amongst it. Last breath here. On your inhale, maybe come up slightly higher to help you walk the shoulders back out. And then exhale down very slowly. Top of the spine first. Mid-spine lands. Finally, low spine lands. Soles of feet together, knees flop out to side. You can allow your palms to face open and be restful here, maybe adjusting shoulders a little further from your ears. You're also welcome to take your hands again to the thigh creases and press away gently. I love the way that feels in my body. We have 3 more breaths here. Long, slow inhales, belly to chest. Exhaling, pressing the air gently out. One more. Expand and fill. Exhale, subtle contraction, press it out. Very last breath here. Let's gently take the knees in for a moment. Give yourself a little rock squeeze. And find your block. I'm going to bring the block up underneath the hips here. Finding waterfall. Just put it on the very lowest height. If you're at home, you don't have your block, you could use a cushion, a rolled up blanket, anything at all here. And I'll take the feet up to the sky. You might bring a little movement to the ankles at first. At some point, you'll just allow yourself to be. Letting all the blood drain down. Shaking our roots in the air, right? Inversions can be a great way to change your perspective on things, even without intentionally doing so. This is a great pose to do whenever you're feeling fatigued, stressed out. You could always let your feet even rest up onto a wall here. We'll take just a few more here together. About 3 more. Two more. And one more. We let the feet drop one at a time. Lift yourself up off your block, set it to the side. You're just going to shift your hips a little bit over towards the left and keep your arms really reached out strongly here. You can then lift your feet and knees and drop the knees over to the right. Little gentle twist. You can also take your block in between your legs here. That might feel more comfortable for you to have more support there for the top leg. Try to keep your chest open, both shoulders to the floor. One more breath in and out. And we'll switch sides. If you have your block, you might want to remove it first. Feet onto the floor, shift hips opposite side. Knees lift up, and we will drop them over to the left. If you want to insert the block back in there, go ahead and put it on whatever height naturally feels best. And 3 breaths here. 2 more. And 1 more here. Take your time to come out of twist and into Shavasana. You might choose to bring your feet to the floor with them spread out a little further to the edges of the mat and the knees gently knocked in. Hands maybe 3, 4, 5 inches from your body, wherever feels right for you. Palms up. And just stay exactly as you are there as you let yourself settle in for your last few moments. Not reliving the past of where we've been, or concerned about the future.
But really just connecting to the here and the now. Winter's halfway behind us and halfway in front of us. Enjoy the moment you're in here, finding peace, beauty, inspiration, finding something that means something for you. The breath comes and goes on its own. And I invite you to stay reclined for the remainder of your class so that we can really close full circle today. We will close our class by uniting our voices in the sound of Om. Feel free to keep your hands just where they are, or connecting back to the core, your heart, placing right hand and then the left over the heart. We'll take a cleansing breath to prepare for our Om. Inhaling here, releasing, and inhaling for your Om. I thank you all for joining me this morning for practice. I hope you had a great practice, and I hope that you carry this feeling with you throughout your day and as far into the week ahead as you can. The love and the light in me deeply honors the love and the light in all of you. Namaste, dear yogis. Thanks for being here. Have a great day. Thank you guys for being here. Have a great day. Thanks, everybody.